Augustine was early in my journey to Catholicism. Before I was a Catholic, I was a Lutheran, and before I was a Lutheran pastor, I was a Lutheran parishioner. Before that, I'm not going to go there; it'll take forever. But I was a lot of places, tried a lot of things, and cured myself with all of them, as the joke goes. But with Augustine, what is he known for? Philosophy of the philosopher. He was a Neoplatonist, and he would apply that. Neoplatonism kind of looks at this ideal thing to which we're aspiring as Christians following God. But I ascribe to a philosopher in the 20th century, a Catholic named Etienne Gilson, who said he wasn't as good a philosopher as Thomas Aquinas. It's like, oh, well, okay. Some would say that he was very good in developing doctrine, which he was. He addressed the big heresies of his day. Pelagianism and Donatism, these things that were trying to question the authority of a priest, that if a priest did not live a perfect life, was the sacrament valid? So he dealt with these things and everything. But centuries later, people took what he taught and distorted them. And perhaps at times he spoke, in my opinion, a little bit too strongly in a certain way, which kind of led to missing the point as far as the mercy of God and growing in the faith and perfection and all these things to which God calls us. In fact, some would say he was a great Latin writer, but he wasn't the greatest Latin writer. He was just the greatest Latin who was a writer, if that makes sense. So there's all these questions. So when it comes down to it, what is it that makes him so great? He's a little bit like a decathlete, right? He's good at everything. He's good at everything, and the average is he just towers over everybody else. And that's sort of his gift. But if you really want to understand him, it's right here. He says, "Blessed is that servant whom his master on his arrival finds doing so." Doing what? Taking care of the household. Giving people their food at proper time. He did everything for the benefit of his congregation, for the benefit of the people to whom he was entrusted. He guarded them against the wolves. He took great exception. He wrote millions and millions of words, and his whole effort was to protect people and understand and lead them into the love of God. His sermons were top, except for his teacher, who was Ambrose, in my opinion. His sermons were top because he could talk about the love of God and the grace of God and the presence of God, and he would have this sort of rapport back and forth with his community as he talked about these things, and God became alive in his words. The life of God came through the words and inspired them. And so if you really want to be inspired by Augustine, you have to do what? You have to read Augustine. And try not to do a King James Augustine. You know what a King James Augustine is? All the these and the thous, the ones that are really hard for us sometimes to understand. Try and find a modern good translation. I can help you. Read his Confessions. It's what really led me towards my conversion to Catholicism. Read it. See what he has to say. If you want to really be bored, read City of God. But be bored with God. You know, in other words, boredom comes from within. So you start with that. It's hard. Sometimes you have to wrestle with the book. But if you spend time with Augustine, he will change your life. He will make you aspire. He will cause you to realize that the eternal present is with you now.